into franchises, not clubs, add some serious cash and a bit of razzmatazz. Or in their words, make the game more watchable, accessible and entertaining, especially for younger audiences. But there's been a huge pushback, a massive no way from the current game. So what exactly is R360 and why is it controversial? Rugby union is facing challenges on a domestic level right now. There's huge financial instability across even top-tier clubs. The English game has seen leading clubs like Wasps, London Irish and Worcester go out of business in the top flight. The Welsh provincial game is in total disarray too. R360 says they would remove what are easily some clubs' biggest expenses, i.e. the big stars, and therefore make more of them profitable. So the plan is to inject a new lease of life into the sport. But how exactly? Top stars of the men and women's game playing for a franchise-based league with fixtures in cities like London, Miami, Tokyo and Lisbon. Each city would host a tournament featuring all the franchises during a short 3-month season. And though no players have officially confirmed, reports suggest around 200 have signed pre-contracts, some worth up to 750 grand. And if that's the pre-contract, you can imagine where the full wages will get to. Problem is, the rest of rugby says no. In fact, no way. The national unions from England, Scotland, Ireland, France, Italy, South Africa, New Zealand and Australia have declared any player joining R360 will be banned from test selection. World Rugby's also not approved the league. Many fear it echoes football's failed European Super League, a top-down, money-driven idea that could damage the sport's traditions. So is it dead already? Well, rugby union is at a crossroads. Some may be against it, but we know others are being swayed by the cash. So will everything work itself out? Or after the European Super League and Live Golf, have we got sport's next big scandal on our hands?
Rain later.
Good morning, I'm Angelina Kelly and this is Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. Last night, the football Macclesfield, they just couldn't do another giant killing. Such a shame, but amazing how far they have come in the competition. On the breakfast show at 6 a.m. with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoy, they'll get into the FA Cup and tonight's Champions League playoffs. Then at 10 a.m, it's Jim White and Simon Jordan. They will be joined by Danny Murphy. But Nick, what have we got coming up over the next hour?
Morning, Angelina. We'll start with Coventry's emphatic win over Middlesbrough at the top of the Championship. We've got Keith Andrews on why he went into Macclesfield's dressing room. You're going to talk about that in a bit. Plus, we'll hear from Tyson Fury on why he's making boxing great again. And we're asking who plays alongside John Terry in an all-time Premier League 11. As always, get involved on the usual number 03717 223344 or WhatsApp or text 81089.
Okay, let's get into it. How's things, Nick? All good?
Not bad. Who have Man United got in the 5th round of the FA Cup? Oh, wait, hang on.
You know what? I've been sat in this chair 2 minutes and you're already coming for me. Rude.
Not for you, for Man United. Saints have got Fulham. We're going to do them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? It's good to be optimistic.
They've got Southampton legend Harrison Reed, who scoring bangers at the moment. Scored 2 important goals for Fulham this season.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that reminder that my team are not in
Pleasure.
it. Anyway, moving swiftly on from that, thank you. Frank Lampard's Coventry went back to the top of the Championship after a 3-1 win at home to promotion rivals Middlesbrough, live on talkSPORT 2. The Sky Blues had just 1 point from their last 3 games before last night, while Borough had won each of their last 6. But a hat-trick from American forward Haji Wright sent the Midland side back to the top of the table.
It is second against first, Coventry against Middlesbrough. The game of the championship season so far. Sakamoto, who shimmies infield away from two in red. Now Radoni with a tight angle, and Wright has turned it in! Coventry lead in the battle of the top two! The championship pendulum swings Coventry's way!
Right place, right time, at the right moment. Haji Wright delivers. They're looking to wear down Coventry, who are kind of resorting to just booting it long to Haji Wright at the moment.
Wright is in! It's two! From back to front for Coventry City! 30 yards out, angles it wide, Britton on the overlap, no ball in, shot is blocked, rebound McGree in! 2-1! Riley McGree gets Middlesbrough back into the game. Eccles, clever touch on the edge of the penalty area. Dinks in the cross, looked like handball by Target. Penalty, had to be. Target raised his arm.
The arm was out and the referee just took a beat. I was impressed.
Haji Wright, is this the hat-trick here for Coventry? It is! Right into the bottom corner. Bryn dived to his right-hand side, but he couldn't keep it out. And this night will be remembered for the hat-trick from Haji.
Well, Coventry City were looking for a hero tonight, and they've found one.
And the Sky Blues are soaring to the top of the championship.
Yes, Coventry fans, they were singing "We're on our way to the Premier League" as they beat Borough last night to return to the top of the Championship. They haven't been in the top flight since 2001. talkSPORT 2 co-commentator and EFL expert Adrian Clark said after the result that this win restored so much belief in the Coventry side.
It's restored so much belief in this team, in the club, in their prospects of promotion, and you know, they showed a real togetherness tonight. This was a high-level game, played at a frenetic pace, but they were up to the task, weren't they? They were well organised. They steamed into Borough. They won the ball in great areas throughout that first half. And then once they had the lead, they said, actually, we're not going to press you as much this half. We're going to drop a little bit deeper, and we're going to go a bit more direct and hurt you on the counter. And they did that to great effect as well. We saw two sides to Coventry tonight, and both functioned excellently. Middlesbrough, they played their football. We know they're great on the ball. They didn't quite have enough tonight.
Yes, Coventry City are back to the top of the Championship table, 62 points. Middlesbrough are a point behind on 61. And considering Millwall are third on 56, you'd expect both sides to kick on and get promoted back to the Premier League this season. And you know what? Fair play to Frank Lampard for not giving up. You know, there were a couple of jobs that did go wrong, let's be honest, at Everton and Chelsea. And he's stuck at being a manager, and it looks like he's learned from his mistakes, and it's all starting to pay off. Just because he was a good player doesn't always guarantee that you're going to be a good manager, but he's knuckled down and not let his ego, you know, maybe stop him from dropping down to the Championship. And after those experiences, things are starting to go right for him. And Coventry's hat-trick hero Haji Wright will join Jeff and Ali on breakfast this morning, so stay tuned as they'll be here from 6 a.m. And Cov's next game is live on talkSPORT 2 on Saturday at 12:30 as they travel to the Hawthorns to face West Bromwich Albion. Now, in the FA Cup, Giant Killers Macclesfield, their story ended as they lost out to Premier League side Brentford.
Hickey on the underlap, gets to the byline. No cross into the near post, it's headed into his own net by Heathcote. And Brentford make the breakthrough. Hickey with the cross into the near post. And Heathcote, diving header, trying to put it behind and out for a corner. Sends it inadvertently beyond his own goalkeeper. It's Macclesfield 0, Brentford 1.
Do you know what? They've been down to 10, Macclesfield, for about 5 minutes, actually. Luke Matheson has literally just run on as the goalkeeper's fishing the ball out the back of the net. And ironically, Sam, they got in, Brentford, down that left-hand side. It was Aaron Hickey, who got into that wide area, cut it back. And the big centre-half, Sam Heathcote, has played well. He's done everything right. Was desperate to kind of get something on it and has flown it past his own goalkeeper, unfortunately.
Yeah, Sam Heathcote's own goal was the difference between the two sides last night live on talkSPORT. Fair play to Macclesfield. You know, they've beaten the holders Crystal Palace in the last round. No one can take that memory away from them. They didn't embarrass themselves last night against Brentford either. And, you know, Keith Andrews' team are 7th in the Premier League right now. So I think it would have been a very big shock if Macclesfield had beaten them too. You know, maybe just a little bit too much for them. But after the match, Brentford boss Keith Andrews went into the Macclesfield dressing room to speak to his side's opponents and revealed what he said to them.
I wanted us to show a little bit more intensity in everything we did, to put them under more pressure, don't allow them to play. And just do the basics really, really well. Just scrap, fight, decision making. If there's 2-3 bodies around you, release it, switch play, just manage the game a little bit better than we did. But ultimately that needed to come from a place of just fight, just scrap, just win the battle, and then you can push on from there. And I thought we earned the right to do that in the second half.
Now, I like the idea of Keith Andrews, you know, going into the dressing room and speaking to the players and everything, but I don't know, is it a little bit patronising, or am I looking at this wrong? You know, he's been a manager very similar amount of time to Macclesfield's John Rooney, and I think if you've got Arne Slot or Pep Guardiola walking in there, it's a different story. But essentially, you know, Keith Andrews, as much as he's done a brilliant job at Brentford, he is a former set-piece coach, let's be honest, and you know, you coming in giving a motivational speech, I don't know if I was a player if I'd maybe be a bit annoyed, but also, you know, it's a good sentiment, nice message, etc, etc. But Brentford will now play West Ham United away in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Elsewhere, we've got Manchester City. They're going to have to travel away to Newcastle United. And Wrexham co-owner Ryan Reynolds, he watched the FA Cup draw with his Deadpool co-star Hugh Jackman, and they were shocked to see the Welsh side draw Chelsea at home in the 5th round. But to get the full 5th round draw, head to talksport.com. To boxing now. And Tyson Fury's revealed that the deaths of 2 of longtime rival Anthony Joshua's friends in a car crash in December was the catalyst for his return to boxing. So after retiring 5 times, he's once again decided to make a return to the ring. In a media conference yesterday, he was wearing full Netflix clobber because that's where his next fight will be broadcast. And he revealed that he's coming back for a few different reasons. Firstly, because he feels like boxing has gone on a downward slope since he retired and has even used AI to back him up.
Why did I come back to boxing? Very, very, very interesting question, and there's only one answer to that. And the truth of the matter is, I came back for one reason only, and that's to make boxing great again. Since I retired for the 5th time, over a year ago, boxing for me has gone on a downward slope. It's become quite boring, and boxing is at its maximum potential when Tyson Fury's actively fighting. And I didn't say that. An AI, the cleverest AI on earth, said that, ChatGPT.
I mean, if you're searching yourself on ChatGPT, I think you need a little bit of a reality check. This is Tyson Fury we're talking about, I guess. But he also revealed that the biggest turning point for him was that fatal car crash involving Anthony Joshua, which sadly killed 2 of Joshua's friends. Fury reckons it's made him realise that life is short, tomorrow isn't promised. I don't really know if it's appropriate to make someone else's pain part of your own narrative, but if it's genuinely made him reflect and look at his life and he means what he says, then it's really that sentimental, then completely fair dues. But yes, Tyson Fury is back, and there'll be loads more of this and all the information about it on talkSPORT's boxing YouTube channel. But right now, it is time for our quiz. Nick Ellaby is back with me. We've got today's top 5. What is the category?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, today's top 5 quiz. In honour of the Champions League playoff returning.
Yeah.
I want to know which 5 clubs have the most appearances in terms of editions in the Champions League and European Cup.
Okay.
So which 5 clubs have appeared in most editions of the Champions League and the European Cup?
I mean, straight off the bat, Real Madrid's got to be in there.
Top. Real Madrid, number 1, appeared in 44 editions of the tournament. There's a couple of slightly rogue ones in there.
I can imagine. I bet there's some strange ones. I'm trying to think. Would Bayern Munich?
Bayern Munich are there in 5th, right? So they have 34 appearances, 34 editions.
Right.
So you've got Real Madrid first, then you've got 3 more clubs before you get to Bayern Munich. 34. So there's a club on 42, there's a club on 36, there's a club on 35. One more guess before we throw it open to the listener.
Liverpool, maybe?
Do you know what? Liverpool are well down there. Liverpool are down in about 12th. Obviously,
wow, okay.
British teams were kicked out of the competition for a while.
Yeah.
And also because the Premier League and the top flight in this country is a bit more competitive, you don't see the same clubs every year. So let's throw it open to the listener, right? Real Madrid, most appearances in the European Cup and Champions League, 44 editions. Bayern Munich are 5th with 34. So who's 2nd, 3rd and 4th? The clubs that have appeared in the top European competition the most seasons.
Yes, listeners, can you help? Give me a call on 03717 223344 or text on 81089. This is Early Breakfast on talkSPORT with me, Angelina Kelly. It is 5:16. Up next, we'll be finding out who Leicester City have lined up as their next manager, and we'll be taking a look at the back pages.
Thomas Tuchel signing a contract. Is it because of the fact that the FA were concerned he was going to go somewhere else?
Listen, I think it is. You know, I certainly think he was on Manchester United's list. Who knows? Maybe he would have been on Tottenham's list as well. And I think that's why they had to get this done, because what you don't want, if you're the FA, and if you're an England fan, you don't want Thomas Tuchel going into the World Cup with constant speculation that he could be leaving for a Premier League club job at the end of the tournament. I think getting that out of the way, he can focus on the job in hand. I don't think England will win the World Cup. I think there's a lot that counts against England winning this World Cup.
What happens if we lose in the quarterfinals? Does he continue as England manager?
I think the I don't think we should underestimate if he gets to the quarterfinal of a World Cup. When you go back pre-Gareth Southgate, which is your argument, we'd have bitten your hand off at the quarterfinal of a World Cup.
Are you going to defend me on that?
No, I'll defend you because I think Gareth Southgate should have.
Good morning, I'm Angelina Kelly and this is Early Sports Breakfast. We've already spoken about Coventry City returning to the top of the Championship last night after their 3-1 win over Middlesbrough. Now the Sky Blues are back to winning ways. Does that mean they're going to head back to the Premier League? Giant Killers Macclesfield's FA Cup dream came to an end last night after losing 1-0 to Brentford. And Tyson Fury is back. He's facing Russian heavyweight Arslanbek Makhmudov in April. But after all this unretiring, are we happy to see him back in the ring, or are we just over it? We are building up to talkSPORT Breakfast at 6 a.m. with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist. A few more things that you need to know. Kirsty Muir came agonisingly close to adding to Team GB's medal tally at the Winter Olympics, finishing 4th in the free ski big air after falling on her final run. The men's curlers face a must-win match against Canada this evening. They need to win their final 2 games to stay in contention for the semi-finals. The women's curlers are on the brink of a round-robin exit following a 10-6 defeat to Switzerland. And talkSPORT understands that Leicester City are in talks with former Derby County and Birmingham City boss Gary Rowett over their vacant manager's job. For more on all the big stories, make sure that you go to talksport.com. You can also watch us on your smart TVs. I'm talking Samsung, LG, Fire TV, Apple, Chromecast, Android, Google TV and Prime Video. talkSPORT is there. Just on that Leicester news, it's been more than 3 weeks since the Foxes sacked their last manager, Marti Cifuentes, and they have dropped into the Championship relegation places since being deducted 6 points after breaching the EFL's profit and sustainability rules. To be fair, I think the Rowe would be a good appointment. He knows the league, can organise the team to be harder to beat. And hopefully the Leicester fans, he'll be able to give them a little bit of a lift. He's not the most exciting name probably, but his experience in the second tier, I think, should be able to make sure Leicester stay in the division, which sadly needs to be their target now. Elsewhere, we did have some fun yesterday. We were discussing Tony Cascarino's claim that Dominic Szoboszlai is as good as Steven Gerrard. The boys on Sports Bar, they got stuck into whether Virgil van Dijk would actually make an all-time Premier League side. One caller told Jamie O'Hara 5 centre-backs were ahead of Van Dijk in the pecking order.
Go on, can you name them? Can you give me 5?
Terry, Ferdinand, Vidic.
Yeah.
Adams. Sol Campbell.
Keep going.
We're laughing at.
I keep going. Let's go on. I'm with you. I'm 100% in right now.
You got Steve Bruce.
Steve Bruce.
He's having a wind up, mate. He's having a wind up.
It's a bit of a stretch, Steve Bruce there, Az. I mean, you've got a bit rogue there, mate. You could have gone Vincent Kompany.
You might as well go Ali Hansen.
Vincent Kompany's up there.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce has won more Premier League titles than Virgil van Dijk has.
I'm sorry, but Steve Bruce, he didn't even get an England cap. And he may have more Premier League titles, but he wasn't even Manchester United's best centre-back at the time. I think that it was Gary Pallister. But this has got me thinking about Premier League centre-backs. Virgil van Dijk, probably not in his best form overall this season. We've seen him throwing his toys out of his pram a few times. He's had a few blunders, but he's definitely one of the best Premier League centre-backs. Is he in the top 5 already? Because I think you can obviously argue John Terry's in there, the leader of the Chelsea team that only conceded 15 goals, the lowest in Premier League history. He's got to be up there. If not your first choice. I think Rio Ferdinand, Sol Campbell are also up there. There's debates for the likes of Tony Adams. Nemanja Vidic, I know that maybe on his own might not be one of the best, but I think him and Rio Ferdinand complemented each other quite nicely. Obviously, Vincent Kompany, Jaap Stam, but I think that Van Dijk could already be in the top 5. I think that he's already there. I think that he's been ever present for Liverpool during their recent glory years. I think that maybe another Premier League title or Champions League title could seal it for him, and a bit of a bounce back from this season perhaps. But let me know what you think, because is he already considered one of the best Premier League centre-backs? Is he in the top 5? And if you're looking at an all-time Premier League 11, I think you can 100% argue that John Terry gets in there. He's one of the first names in the team. But would Virgil van Dijk go alongside him? Would it be somebody like Rio Ferdinand? Who would you have as your centre-back duo in the all-time Premier League 11? Get in touch. Call me on 03717 223344 or text on 81089. Don't forget that you can send us WhatsApps or texts on 81089. I'm going to go into the top 5 quiz answers because we've got a few answers already coming through. So this is 5 clubs with the most European Cup or Champions League appearances. So we got Real Madrid at number 1 with 46. We got Bayern Munich coming in 5th at the bottom with 34. We've got Dave in Somerset, Rob, a Chelsea fan, Sam in Melbourne, have all gone for Ajax. 3rd, 36. So well done to you guys. We've got some wrong answers, if this is going to help everybody with the guesswork. Juventus, they're actually 6th. Barcelona, Jill and Dave texted in about that one. Barcelona are actually 10th. Red Star Belgrade, Billy texted in with that, actually 9th. AC Milan, not in there. Rangers, not in there. Celtic, not in there. So like I say, get in touch with the show on 81089 and let me know what you think. But it is 5:24 and it's time now to have a look at the back pages. Nick Ellaby is in the studio.
Hello
what
again.
Have you got for us?
Well, this one caught my eye. Back of the Star Sport, Cop raid. Old Trafford Chiefs in shock plot to Nick McAllister. Back of the Daily Express, United plot to Cop Mac. And back of the Mirror Sport, United out to Cop Mac. Cop Mac seems to be the one.
And that's what everyone's going with there, yeah.
£50 million star wanted in deal from bitter rivals. This is Jeremy Cross, exclusive in the back of the Mirror Sport. Manchester United are weighing up a £50 million raid on Liverpool for Alexis McAllister, 27-year-old Argentine under contract at Anfield till 2028. former Brighton player. Again, he has been slightly off the boil this season.
Yeah.
Would you want him at Man United?
No, I'm all right.
Really?
I think it's a tough one because, like you say, he's been off the boil this season, and according to Alex Crook, who I speak to a lot about Manchester United, we do the talkSPORT YouTube channel Inside Devils. We're always rowing on that. He's saying that the midfield options they're going for the likes of Elliot Anderson, Carlos Baleba, and Adam Wharton as well. So I don't know if I'm putting Alexis McAllister at the moment, if he excites me as much as some of those names. So I think from that angle, and also it's like, whenever it's a Liverpool player, Manchester United, it adds an extra layer. He's going to have to really commit himself to Manchester and, almost take back that he ever wanted to be a Liverpool player, really, for us to accept him in. Although, Michael Owen, he did some all right stuff for us. But yeah, I think I'd prefer the names, the names that are a little bit more expensive. But with Manchester United, who knows?
You need a couple of players in there, really, don't you?
Yeah, true. Casemiro's. Yeah.
Ugarte's not really done the business.
Ugarte out the door. So, yeah, I think he wouldn't be in my starting 11, but would he be willing to be a player that comes off the bench? I don't know.
Interesting development over in Bayern. Nicholas Jackson expected to return to Chelsea this summer. Has not played enough games. I don't think Bayern Munich are keen on triggering that option to buy.
That whole thing's been a mess, hasn't it?
Well, they got him. Bayern signed Jackson on loan for £14.3 million. A further £56.2 million due with that obligation to buy, but only if Jackson played 40 times and at least 45 minutes in all of them. He's played 22 times so far. And obviously that Bayern front three of Kane, Diaz and Elise, it's actually the best front three in Europe right now.
Yeah, it's hard to see how you would get into that, but yeah, you feel sorry for him, don't you? That it's just not gone to plan from start to finish.
He gets in good positions, isn't he? He's not quite the finished article just yet, but he's still, what is he? Is he early 20s? Anyway, This is also interesting. Jurgen Klopp said no to United and Chelsea. Apparently, Man United and Chelsea both tried to get Jurgen Klopp after his departure from Liverpool. This is his agent talking now. Interesting to see whether Klopp can be tempted out of management. Do you think Klopp would have been... I mean, again, you're looking at a former Liverpool legend in Klopp. Would he do well at Man United?
I think he would have done well at Man United. Listen, for me, just the chaos of Jurgen Klopp. Wasn't he given keys to the city of Liverpool?
Yeah.
He'd have to give them back, wouldn't he?
Would you take him next season at Man United?
You know what? There's a couple of different layers to it. Yes, I would if I want to see Manchester United be successful, because Jurgen Klopp is a proven winner. My issues would be how he would work with the hierarchy at Manchester United, because they seem to like a lot of control. Obviously, there is the cultural aspects of it, of, Manchester United and Liverpool. They are fierce rivals. Yeah. Making that transition, I think when it's a player, you don't expect players to always be that loyal, let's be honest. Whereas when it's a manager who said so much about how much he loves Liverpool.
He's already said, he would never manage another Premier League team anyway, unless it was Liverpool. Right?
It would have been a little bit difficult, but just the idea of Jurgen Klopp taking away the Liverpool angle of it, just Jurgen Klopp and what he's achieved, you'd have him.
Just very quickly before I go, Real Madrid feared Jude Bellingham could be out for another 6 weeks with his hamstring injury. That would rule him out of England's final training camp. I wonder whether Thomas Tuchel's decision to kind of not play Jude Bellingham in previous camps is now going to backfire, because all of a sudden we're going to have to rush him into the team right ahead of the World Cup.
Yeah, this is the thing. And I spoke to Thomas Tuchel in Brussels at the Nations League draw, and he was saying, Jude is determined, I'm determined. He kind of hinted that maybe there was a bit of resistance from Real Madrid. I think, obviously, they want to protect their assets. So it's a shame that, the player clearly wants it. And like you say, have we seen enough of Jude Bellingham with Thomas Tuchel? Probably not. So a little bit worrying, but we'll have to see.
Very quickly before the break, if the World Cup's tomorrow, does Bellingham start?
Oh, I don't think he does for Tuchel. Not saying that I think he shouldn't, but I just think for Tuchel.
Do you start him if you're the manager? I
would. Yeah, I would, but I don't know if Tuchel would. Yeah, case closed. Well, there you have it. That was a review of this morning's Back Pages with talkSPORT's Nick Ellaby. I'm Angelina Kelly. You're listening to Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. And up next, we'll have some fun with the front pages.
know, when you walk into Tottenham, what you see everywhere is to dare is to do. It's everywhere. And yet their actions are almost the antithesis of that.
Right.
It's a real curious in terms of understanding what are they trying to build? You know, what are they? Is it... There's obviously, they've built an unbelievable stadium, unbelievable training facilities. But when you look at the expenditure, particularly, you know, in their wages structure, they're not a big club. I saw that because when we were trying to sign players, we weren't in the market for those players.
I was stunned. I was absolutely... I thought it was disgraceful.
Did you?
I thought, honestly, I couldn't believe what I was listening to. The club have given him £7 million. He's blaming everyone but himself.
No, we've got him a trophy.
Yes, but for his sacking, he's blaming everyone. But when I sat down on the day of the final, Daniel Levy comes up to me and goes, I've been in 8 semi-finals and final, and we all laughed.
Yeah, what's wrong with that? That's his fault.
I don't want to know that. That should be private.
No.
The geezer's giving you...
No.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
Good morning, I'm Angelina Kelly. This is Early Sports Breakfast. We're building up to talkSPORT Breakfast with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist from 6 a.m. Some of your headlines this Tuesday morning: Serena Wiegmann names her latest England squad at 11 a.m. The Lionesses will travel to Turkey next month to face Ukraine before hosting Iceland at the City Ground on Saturday the 7th of March. Australia could be knocked out of the Men's T20 Cricket World Cup today. Their quarter-final hopes are hanging by a thread after an 8-wicket defeat to co-host Sri Lanka in Pallekele. Australia will be out if Zimbabwe beats Ireland this morning, and England winger Tommy Freeman says the squad are pleased to have the chance to respond quickly to their defeat to Scotland. This year's Six Nations features only one rest week after round 3, meaning they go straight into hosting Ireland at Twickenham on Saturday. Freeman says the reduced break means little difference to their preparations.
I think we're all itching to get back into it and put it right. I think it doesn't change really. I think in the autumn you've got 4 games, haven't you? And you're playing for your club, you're playing back-to-back games. So I don't think it changes too much, if I'm honest. Yeah, we're just excited to get back and get back on the pitch.
And for all of the biggest stories, make sure that you head to talksport.com. Our top story on Early Sports Breakfast today is that Frank Lampard's Coventry are back at the top of the Championship thanks to a hat-trick by Haji Wright in a 3-1 win at home to second-place Middlesbrough. The win follows a little mid-season wobble for Cov. Frank Lampard's told talkSPORT their recent form's been a check for everyone at the club.
The feeling in these last weeks, you know, everyone, when we were some points clear, was excited. I wasn't. I understood. I was happy because we were playing well, but I understood the duration of the season. And this has been a check for everybody. Maybe not the worst, to get the feeling and understanding that this stadium needs to rock. We need to give energy. But there's a long way to go. So I'm not getting overly excited. I'm delighted with the boys tonight, but there's a long way to go. We need to take that forward.
Coventry go to West Brom in the Championship live on talkSPORT 2 this Saturday lunchtime. Now, we were talking about Premier League centre-backs. Who are the best Premier League centre-backs? Is Virgil van Dijk already in the top 5 when you're thinking about the all-time Premier League defenders? And we've got a caller, Jimmy, the Liverpool fan. Jimmy, good morning. What have you got to say when it comes to Virgil van Dijk?
Good morning. It's the British thing for me, which I think is a myth. First of all, he couldn't keep himself on the pitch.
He risked it all for the club, didn't he?
Sorry?
He risked it all for the club. He was willing to throw himself on the line, do whatever.
I think if Fernando Torres had a field day against him on more than one occasion.
Okay, but
for me, it's about staying on the pitch, leadership. You're no good on the sidelines with a 3-game ban.
Yeah, true.
It's ahead of Van Dijk. No chance.
See, I get what you mean about the Torres situation, but I feel like it was only Torres. I can't think of anybody else who's springing to mind that really, really troubled him. I think that Vidic, was maybe a bit of a better defender because he would risk it all, whereas Van Dijk, do you not think, he never dives in and takes a risk, or is that what you like about him?
Well, for me, it's about staying on the pitch, right? It's being calculated. Vidic was rash. That's why he got sent off. He was rash.
It was what? Vidic had 4 Premier League red cards. Van Dijk's already on 2, so he's halfway there.
Well, and he's coming to towards the latter end of his career, by the way. You couldn't label Van Dijk rash, right? He's calculated. He's clever. Vidic wasn't clever.
Well, fair enough if you think he wasn't clever, Jimmy. Thank you for your call, but I always remember that image of Nemanja Vidic. His nose got broke on the pitch. He literally stepped off the pitch. They reset his nose and he got back on. I think that he was a brilliant defender. I think the partnership with Rio Ferdinand was great. But yeah, Virgil van Dijk has still been a brilliant, brilliant defender. And I think there is an argument for him being in the top 5. But thank you for getting in touch this morning. And thank you for, calling all of the texts as well, because we're going to look at the top 5 quiz answers again. So this was 5 clubs with the most European Cup or Champions League appearances. So we've already got Real Madrid in first with 46. We then managed to get Ajax with 36. They were in third. And Bayern Munich in 5th with 34. So we can reveal the other 2. So Benfica, they are in second with 42. And the 4th place with 35, nobody got this one. It's a little bit of a rogue name, maybe. Dynamo Kiev. That is who is involved. I wouldn't have thought of them. So thank you very much, like I say, for getting in touch. Today, of course, we are talking about Virgil van Dijk as a top Premier League centre-back. You know, Virgil van Dijk, is he better than John Terry? We've had a text in from CCB saying that exactly, that he's better than John Terry all day long. But I just think what Terry did with Chelsea, it was fantastic. And Charlie has said, if Arsenal win the league, will Gabriel and Saliba be considered? Excellent shout. Almost forgot about Arsenal there. Gabriel and Saliba, I think, definitely one of the best Premier League centre-back pairings. If we're looking at duos, those two have been absolutely fantastic, haven't they? But don't forget, you can send us a text on 81089. OK, it is now time for this.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move.
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast. talkSPORT.
Nick's back with us for a look at the lighter side of today's front pages. What have you got for us?
We've got a rogue shout for Premier League centre-backs. If he could have stayed fit, Ledley King
Yes.
was such a good player, but just couldn't stay fit.
Yeah, true.
He's made of yoghurt pots and sticky tape. This is a good one in the Daily Star. Modern life gone to the dogs. Dog walkers leaving poo bags hanging in trees.
Don't even talk to me about this, because I'm having an issue where I live where it's not even being bagged up. It's just being left.
I saw one of those the other day.
But it's like every single day. It must be one person who is walking their dog that lives near me. It's a problem.
Well, apparently the poo bags in the tree, hanging in the trees, has been named as Britain's #1 gripe. A study pinpointed the top 50 things that push people to boiling point.
No, mine's just when they don't bag it.
Is that?
Yeah, I mean, the hanging in the trees is annoying, and you should put it in the bin, of course. But trying to dodge it, you know, it's 3 o'clock this morning when I'm getting in a cab, having to put my torch on to dodge it on the pavement to get to my cab. I'm not having it. It's too much.
Trod in fox poo.
No, is that bad?
The
That
worst
sounds
smell
bad.
you can ever have.
Oh my god.
So the top 50 things that push people to boiling point. Have a guess at what the most annoying things are. And what's the most annoying thing for you?
Something to do with queuing, maybe. People get quite annoyed about that. I get annoyed when people start queuing to board a flight, when it's like you've got your seat already, like what are you stressing about? And when you land and people stand up immediately, and it's like, just take your time, it's all right.
I don't understand that, right? Because the plane doors are still shut.
Yeah.
Everyone, and it happens on the train as well.
Yeah.
Everyone stands up in the aisle, but no one's going anywhere.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere. You've paid for this seat.
Sit in your
Enjoy it. Sit in it a bit longer.
Playing music or videos loudly in public.
That's one. Yeah, that is quite frustrating.
Ranked high on the list. The research was commissioned by Samsung Electronics. Exec Annika Bizon says modern life throws enough daily frustrations at us without technology adding to the pressure. But yeah, I think music on the bus and on the train.
That is a little bit annoying, because
Do you go and ask them to turn it down, or do you just leave it?
No, I don't really like to get in people's business, to be completely honest. I normally will have my headphones in and I'll just turn up whatever I'm listening to. Not good for my eardrums, but
Sometimes I find if you're polite, sometimes people are all right with it.
yeah, true.
But
Maybe
yeah,
I'll try that.
It's a bit scary sometimes.
Yeah.
Dark Mads Brits have blown 28 million quid on nights at the Ocky in 3 months. Luke Littler's World Championship success has seen record sales at Flight Club darts bars, drink and food venues as a spin-off because of obviously everyone's loving Luke the Nuke.
Yeah.
Playing a bit of darts, trying to get into it. We've got dartboards here at talkSPORT.
We do, yeah.
Have you ever been to one of those like Flight Club nights? Do you play darts?
I don't think I have. I love darts. I played darts as a kid.
Yeah.
I remember whenever we'd go on holiday and you'd have like activities at the hotel, I'd always play darts. My granddad taught me how to play. So yeah, I do love it, especially when I was younger. If I'm at the pub and there's a dartboard and there's a few of us, probably have a little bit of a game, but I don't take myself too seriously. You know, like Harry Durham at talks, but like he's good though. He's serious about his darts. I would never play him. But I'm just more for the fun of it.
Would you? What do you think about like a date option? So another one of our early sports breakfast presenters, Olivia Bazaglo, said that it would be the perfect date for her to go to a flight club, drinks and an activity, bit of darts, but a few drinks.
I think. I don't know if I'm that keen on an activity of like the organised fun, especially if I don't know if it's a few dates, then maybe a few drinks, bit of a laugh. But if it was a first date, And also, what if they're really competitive and like I'm just there for a bit of fun? They start. Although maybe it shows you the red flag early.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, true. Well, there's pluses and negatives, I think.
You a Guinness drinker?
Yes, love a Guinness.
Oh yeah, so do I. Cut price Guinness is set to bring the punters pouring in at this year's Cheltenham Festival. Alan Brazil gearing up for that. So
yes, of course.
The cost of a pint of the popular stout is being slashed to £7.50. Still high, isn't it?
Still, yeah, that does not sound cheap to me.
I think it was over £8 before, but it's the lowest price at Cheltenham since 2022. A raft of changes being brought in by the organisers to make the festival even more fun than usual. I think obviously they're trying to get capacity up as well. Are you going to Cheltenham this year?
No, if I get an invite, I would love to go. I've never actually been, so I think it's one of those things like a rite of passage, especially at talkSPORT. You've got to go at least once, haven't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Rio Carnival?
No, I feel like you have, though.
Yeah, of course I have. Yeah, I used to live in Brazil. It's unbelievable. There's a picture of Isa performing during the parade in Rio at the moment. Obviously, the street carnival goes on for a number of days. Have you seen the photo of Carlo Ancelotti?
I have seen
the
photo of Carlo Ancelotti. Yeah, people are wondering if it's AI, but him, hugging three women that are all giving him a little kiss. I don't know.
Kissing 3 women at the same time, and his lips are pursed, but also his wife is there in the.
Did she co-sign? So she co-signed it. We hope.
I think she signed off on it, yeah.
Right, okay. I mean, it's just Don Carlo, isn't it?
Apparently, Carlo Ancelotti's going to sign on for another 4 years as Brazil head coach.
I bet now he's been to the carnival.
Unrelated news.
He's like, this carnival has got me thinking that I need to stay here and focus on the football. That's what he's been thinking, yeah. But no, that's amazing. Would definitely love to go one day. But yeah, maybe you can give me some tips if I ever make the journey.
Yeah,
yes.
Sure.
Well, thank you very much for
Pleasure.
that, Nick. That was the front pages. This is Early Sports Breakfast with me, Angelina Kelly. It is 5:47. Up next, we will look ahead to tonight's Champions League playoffs and we'll pay tribute to a Hollywood legend.
Is Szoboszlai up with a Gerrard standard? I'd love to know that what Liverpool fans thought, because I think but him and Gerrard, there ain't a lot in it. I mean, Steven Gerrard at 25, 26 was amazing. He dragged the team, a bit like Szoboszlai has done this season, but Liverpool did win the Champions League in 2005. And look, an outstanding, if not the best ever Liverpool midfielder. But I wondered how close Szoboszlai was to Gerrard. I'd just love to know if there's Liverpool fans out there who would go, do you know what? Or no, he's not, because I think they're pretty close.
Never mind Liverpool fans out there who say, no, he's not. Yeah, there are some presenters here who said, no, he's not. The thing for me, Coisty, is that he would have to do it over a heck of a lot longer period to ever be compared to Steven Gerrard.
Listen, I've got to say to you, Jeff, I've written down 4 words here. Big Cass, there's a line, then I've put calm down. I've just put calm down after.
Good morning, I'm Angelina Kelly. This is Early Sports Breakfast on talkSPORT. That music gets me every time. I love it. We are playing it, of course, because Hollywood actor Robert Duvall passed away over the weekend at the grand old age of 95. What a good innings. He was probably most famous for playing Tom Hagen in The Godfather, hence why we're playing this music, and Godfather 2, and playing Lieutenant Colonel Bill Kilgore in Apocalypse Now. And of course, Duvall acted alongside our own Ali McCoist in A Shot at Glory.
In the small village of Kilnockie, not much ever changes.
Should try this new invention, Gordon, called a car. We'll go only as far as our hearts and our lungs will carry us.
This is a real chance for Kilnockie. Academy Award winner Robert Duvall. Michael Keaton. And introducing Ali McCoist.
This is our shot at glory, lads. All right? All right?
A Shot at Glory.
It's a good thing, this invention, eh?
The duo you never knew that you needed there, Ali McCoist and Robert Duvall. I mean, the Godfather series, it was one of my favourites because he was just brilliant in the films, and it was such a shame. Everyone talks about Godfather 3 not being good for different reasons, but they killed his character off screen. They couldn't get him to come back. It was because they couldn't reach an agreement with Duvall over payment, so it never happened. He was quoted saying, if they paid Al Pacino twice what they paid me, that's fine, but not 3 or 4 times, which is what they did. Such a shame. He made his Hollywood debut in the film adaptation of To Kill a Mockingbird and won the Oscar for Best Actor in 1983 for the film Tender Mercies. What a great actor. What great films with those two Godfather films, and what a life he had. Now, we're going to switch gears from The Godfather and we are going to go to a caller. We have got Stephen, the Manchester United fan. Stephen, good morning. You've got a little bit of something to say after that Liverpool caller was slagging off Nemanja Vidic. What have you got for us, Stephen?
That's right. So basically, I feel like he's not even watched football properly. Because if you can try to compare Vidic to Van Dijk, then he's not got a Scooby-Doo about defenders. The Vidic put his life, and obviously I'm a United fan, and I'm going to talk about Vidic, but Vidic played with some of the best all-time strikers ever going. And he's using he's using Torres as an example. Did you see his performance at Old Trafford when he missed the open net against De Gea?
And I think also when you think about it, there weren't, we'll give him the Fernando Torres thing, but were there any other strikers that had Vidic in their pocket? I don't think so. And
I don't think they did. I mean, with all due respect, there's been many fantastic strikers in the Premier League itself, and if you compare some of the strikers that Vidic came up against, for example, Vidic he would have been able to defend Wayne Rooney. He could have defended in training. I've watched training sessions when he was up against Ronaldo himself in his prime.
So you think Van Dijk wouldn't have been able to have hacked it with those strikers kind of in the 2000s?
No. He couldn't come up against Didier Drogba. He couldn't come up against Wayne Rooney in his prime. He couldn't come up against Michael Ballack or Thierry Henry.
Is he in your top 5 then? If you're looking at all-time Premier League centre-backs, Van Dijk's not in it?
No, definitely not. I mean, with all due respect to Torres, what did he actually win with Liverpool as a striker?
Fair enough.
Did he ever carry that team through anything? Any cup competition, any Champions League, any Premier Leagues?
And when you look at centre-back pairings, of course, talking about Gabriel and Saliba, of course, you've then got, Nemanja Vidic and Rio Ferdinand are definitely up there, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can't even compare John Terry to Virgil van Dijk. With all due respect, Thierry Henry was fantastic. Not Thierry Henry, John Terry was fantastic. And I'm a United fan. I think he was even better than Van Dijk.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Stephen, thank you so much for that call. Nice to add a little bit of balance and put a little bit of respect on Nemanja Vidic's name. We've got a message from Rob, the Arsenal fan, who says Steve Bruce should be up there with John Terry. He's an Arsenal fan, but says, why do we fixate on 1992 and Premier League players only? I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, Steve Bruce, was very good for Manchester United overall, and was part of some great teams. But yeah, who'd have thought we've got an Arsenal fan defending Steve Bruce? So now, coming up today on talkSPORT, the Champions League is back, and so is this wily old fox.
It feels like Jose Mourinho, more than any other manager, is really the kind of king of Europe.
First time since 1987, Porto are the champions of Europe. Jose Mourinho has masterminded this success.
I'm European champion. I think I'm a special one.
15 times they've been kings of Europe, but each subsequent victory is always the sweetest. But it was so Real Madrid.
Ornes hangs it up there. The goalkeeper's there! Oh my goodness gracious me! This is unbelievable! Jose Mourinho is back to haunt his former club!
I would be happy the same, winning the way we did against Real Madrid and being out. I would be happy the same.
They don't like each other much.
I don't think we should ever write him off. I think if he gets it right, I think if he's stable and he's able to go and he's still got the fire in his belly.
Jose still has something to offer.
If we want to win, we just have to follow him. And that's what we did.
A storied history, the Champions League, and it is the greatest prize in the club game.
Yes, Jose Mourinho's Benfica will be meeting Real Madrid. Obviously, Benfica beat them 4-2 in the final Champions League phase game. And Mourinho, you cannot rule him out. And some of the one-liners that he comes out with, but that commentary will be on talkSPORT 2 tonight from 7:45 p.m. Loads more coming up on talkSPORT Breakfast today, though. Joining Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist today, we have got former Macclesfield head coach Robbie Savage. He'll be talking about their FA Cup run. We've got Blackburn and Northern Ireland manager Michael O'Neill, and Hadj Wright, Coventry's hat-trick hero from last night's win over Middlesbrough. You've been listening to Early Sports Breakfast with me, Angelina Kelly. Jeff and Ali are on the way next.
But Forest fans, in comes Vitor Pereira. Is he the right choice? And Thomas Frank has gone. In comes Igor Tudor. So Frank for Tudor.